now. All right, everybody wave hi to Julie. Hi, Julie, we miss you. All right, so today we're going to be getting into some really fun and juicy work around money because, as you know, this week we started your rapid transformational recording around abundant wealth. And Wei-Lan, I'm going to be getting you the version without the music. And Paula, do you want a version without music as well? I know that in the last time the regression, did you overcome that? Oh,
sorry. I think I overcame that. I actually
okay.
think it's because I did it last thing at night and in the dark. So I think that was the problem. So I think I'll try it with music. It's fine. I'm just going to nip and get my notebook.
Go ahead. Yes, you definitely all want to have something to write with today because we're going to be doing some hands-on exercises. And if Julie, or if you're watching this later, and Leslie, if you're watching this later, definitely make sure that you have a notebook and a pen and paper handy because we're going to be doing some exercises together today as a group to help you with your money blocks. So, all right, I will wait for Paula to get back. We'll do our big wins. So Wei-Lan, we start every group session off with a check-in on your big win for the week. And then we move into the rest of the experience and we do some meditation and we get started. And just so you know too, Nina is all the way in Bali right now. So it's 3 a.m., right? Your time right now? Uh-huh. Yeah, so she is a super trooper showing up at that hour, being here, and we really honor her for her commitment. So thank you again, Nina, for your presence. All right, ladies, let's go ahead and do our big wins of the week before we start talking about money, which is one of my favorite things. So let's start with Nina. What's your big win of the week? And try to spend about 30 seconds on this if you can.
Yeah, I was talking with Paula earlier and I said, oh, I don't have any big wins. But then no, she said, of course you do. So yeah, well, I got to get to speak or talk, or how do you say it? I gave my pitch several times, and I could also go into the I do that by part. Mm-hmm. And everyone, because I was a bit down also last week and exhausted, but everyone was like, yeah, you're gonna be so successful. I totally believe in that. And everyone, because I was always nervous that people don't believe in the mind body, and everyone was like, yeah, I totally think that's so true. And so yeah, that was good. Yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations for putting yourself. So what are you learning about your process of putting yourself out there and the process of doing your pitch?
Yeah, actually, Paula brought up a good point that she said, well, did you ask, do you know anyone? Because it's mainly, it's mothers from school or like someone, not all are mothers, but I know that they themselves won't need my help, but I should have asked, oh, do you know anyone? But sometimes they would say, oh yeah, my sister-in-law struggled with this. Now she has 3 kids, but yeah. But I should integrate the part where I say, yeah, oh, do you know anyone? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I know also people that could need my help, but I'm still hesitant to approach them. So I probably need to work on that.
We will be working on that more. And we're going to be doing something in a couple of weeks. Natasha knows about this, the money games, and that's gonna pretty much push you into a place of having no choice but to take action and to start putting yourself out there. So everybody, let's give Nina a big round of applause and big ups for putting herself out there, practicing her pitch, because that's the first step. You just got to let the words come off the tongue, and then you start to learn, oh, I should probably ask, do you know anybody? Or, oh, I should probably learn how to follow up in this way. But you don't get that insight and you don't get those opportunities to grow unless you take action and do that first small thing, which is just to speak it. So it's a really small thing, but it's a really mighty thing, and I honor you for that. So well done, Nina. All right, so let's go on to Wei-Lan.
So the big win, this is based on something you did last week, or we have to do?
Anything that you've done in the last 7 days since our last session that has to do with a personal win or something that's a win in your business where you feel like you want to be celebrated?
Okay. Well, my personal win is that I managed to break up with my boyfriend.
Wow, that's a really big move. So tell us about that.
Well, it's a really lovely guy, very honest and loving, and have really good qualities. However, I felt the relationship has just gone to a stage where it can't go further. And I'm the one that's always supporting him. He hasn't got any money, he doesn't have a job, and he's has a bit of addiction as well. So when I was in retreat, actually, I asked myself, what do I want? And then I met another guy at the retreat at the same time. And it happened very quickly. And it was so refreshing because the whole year I've been trying to take care of this other guy. And it's always very unpredictable, and I always have to put up, and everything's decided, but I still manage to kind of try and just be patient with myself. Anyway, when I met this guy, I thought, wow, it's much easier than necessary. But, I thought, no, whatever happens, whatever outcome, I need to break up with him. So I did that.
Wow. Well done for you. I know it's not easy to let go of those relationships, but you guys give our sister some love. It takes a lot of courage and strength to let go of the things that we know don't serve us and to step in the things that we know do. So I really honor you for that, Wei-Lan. I know how difficult that is to release those types of relationships and how much awareness it requires. And love, honestly. It's love of yourself and love for him and what he's capable of doing without any enablement that we can sometimes do for people in our lives in that type of relationship. So congratulations. And I'm curious to know how you think the worthiness work that we've been doing, but in the recording that you've been listening to over the last 7 or 8 days might have influenced this.
Yes, I think this work has given me a stronger focus.
Mm-hmm.
And confidence that this is the path I like to take, and I'm very excited, particularly after today talking to Natasha, getting more clarity on my sense of direction. So I really have a strong conviction that if I keep following this and doing other work, it could transform me, and also my poverty belief that I have about myself. Because all the stuff that Marissa taught about, not being good enough, not deserving, all that, I've got it all. Like, it's all over me. I live with that, my whole life. And my whole life has been running on really high resilience, trying to get somewhere. But in the business sense, I've never really gotten anywhere because it's never been my interest to do something like this, because it's never resonated with me the way it's been taught. But I think your program, it's really ideal because you're dealing with human beings, not just to give them techniques and say, here's the formula, you go out there in the world and practice that. I mean, come on. We're just starting out. We're like babies. We need to learn how to walk and to be fed simply at the beginning with just baby food. So if we kind of skip that and just start walking, then we're missing a lot of things.
Yeah,
I'm really happy to just follow this, because it's really giving me a sense of direction of building my own confidence as well. That's what I'm good at doing, and trying to put it into shape, because my ideas is there, but it hasn't been formed properly. So it's a bit abstracted, and I think maybe it doesn't exist. So with you and Natasha's help to kind of get the shaping ideas, then it looks a bit more, ideal and realistic.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Can anybody relate with what Waylon is talking about? This idea of like, I'm so new to this and I'm taking baby steps and I have ideas, or I had ideas, but they didn't feel real to me. And now they're becoming real. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, Waylon. And, you know, we want your ideas, we want your dreams to become a reality. That's the whole point of this. And I can tell you from experience that it is absolutely possible. So we're excited for you and that you're here with us. So thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Oh, and next week, I'm going to see this guy I met in retreat.
Yeah, so hopefully there'll be another big win next week.
I'm going to go to the Lake Districts, but he said you can work. He's got internet, so I'll be Zooming from there.
Perfect. I like it. I like it. Immerse yourself in it. Well, we look forward to hearing what comes forward with that relationship.
You might meet him.
There you go. Add him to the team. Nice job. Awesome. Thank you, Waylon. All right, Paula.
Okay, so my big win this week, it was doing my pitch and getting that fertility client. That was the only person that I did my pitch with. I did do it with someone else, but that was just a practice run because she knows what I'm doing anyway. So the lady that I have as my fertility client, she was an old massage therapist of mine. And my cousin went to see her. They got talking. She told her what I did. And then, it just went from there. But I did my pitch from start to finish with her. So that was good.
And what was that like for you?
It was great. It felt great. I really had to sort of rein myself in a bit because I do that each time I start talking about RTT. I start going like, just getting so like, I don't know. It just energizes me. And I love it so much that it all just comes out, you know. So I did, but I made sure that I reined myself in and I didn't give too much information. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I gave enough and I gave enough passion, you know. And she was just like, "Whoa, it sounds amazing! Yeah, I want to do that," you know. So, yeah.
That's good. Amazing. Congratulations, Paula. Everybody, let's cheer on our sister for getting her first fertility client. It's your first one, right?
Yeah, my first one. Yep.
I remember when we had our enrollment conversation and you were considering joining the program, you were like, I've never had one of these people, so I don't know if it's even possible. And here you are. So now you've got your first pro bono client and your next one will be a paid client. And that's even more exciting. Yeah. So finally, you can see it takes just as much effort to get your ideal client as it does not to get your ideal client, right? It's the same amount of effort. Mm-hmm. It's just different words and different focus. That's it. And when you really be clear about exactly what you offer and who you offer it for, and two, then it becomes so much easier for people to do like what your cousin did, which is to say, this is what my cousin does. And when your pitch is succinct, and other people can more easily promote you to their friends, to their family, to their community. And that means that you get clients through word of mouth. So I'm really proud of you for using your pitch, for going through the process, for showing up in your passion and your conviction for what you do, and for owning it, sister. That's really exciting. Well done, Paula. Yay!
Thank you.
All right, we're not even like a month in. We haven't even gotten to the stuff around designing your program. And so you guys are you're doing like such a great job. Everybody here is really doing an awesome, awesome job. I'm really proud of you. So Natasha, do you want to share your big win for the week?
Sure, thank you. My big wins this week have been staving off distraction. So I've had 2 people approach me, one to do a session and one to do some health and wellbeing coaching, because I used to offer a bit of that. And I've just been really focused on, no, that's not what I want to do. And because they're kind of members of the public that have come through website, and one was a referral, I just kind of like, it didn't align with me, and I kind of managed to move them on without just kind of like being, no, I don't want to help you. I managed to move them on and get help elsewhere. So that was a big win for me, because, you know, when you're approached by people, even if it's a referral, you kind of feel like you should help. And it's like, well, no, because that's not what I'm doing. So that's given me a lot of space to get a lot of my kind of housekeeping done for my own business, which, you know, which you'll find further in as you get your clients. You're so busy with what you need to do that there's just kind of general day-to-day running of business stuff that you don't get done, or things that would be nice to have. So my big win is that I've been really focused on my housekeeping, and I've said no to my distractions. So
beautiful. Thank you. Well done, Natasha. Yay. Good to see our you know, everybody knows here that Natasha's a Worth to Wealth grad. So good to see you continuing to stand in the power of what it is that you do, and also creating the space and time to work on your business, not in your business as a result of that. So well done, because the more space, the more you turn away the people that you don't want, the more room you allow to attract the people that are aligned with your message and your truth, and that means that you can show up and serve them more powerfully. So very excited for you. Yeah.
I have another win. I'm running a series of events as well, and I've booked my first one. So I'm running some events called Women Healing Women, and I've got my first one booked for the 8th of October.
Congratulations.
Forgot about that. That's massive.
That's kind of big. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Maybe a big deal. Are you using your signature workshop formula?
I am going to include a bit of that, but at first it's going to be some storytelling and some kind of techniques to kind of just get the numbers up, and then it will be a monthly event. So
A monthly event, right? So you're gonna do some just casual community building the first time, just to invite them in.
And then
Excellent.
The workshop stuff will be there.
Excellent. That's a perfect pipeline. Well done. Yay. Yay, Natasha. You guys will be learning how to build your signature experiences too. So, all right. Good stuff. So why don't we go ahead now and shift gears a little bit and do a little bit of dropping in, and then we're going to move into some great practices and conversation today about our dear friend and lover, money. So, all right, everybody, go ahead and center into your chair. I'm at my co-working space today, so you see I'm not in my typical background here. So go ahead and settle in. Allow yourself to feel supported at the bottom and the back of your chair. Allow your eyes to close. Create a little space, a little room. I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. Deep breath in. Hold it. And release. Deep breath in. Hold it. Squeak, get a little bit more air. And a little bit more. Hold it. And release. Allow your breath to come to neutral. Now I want you to create an image in your mind of you living your most abundant life. You can see these images and clearly in your mind now, these pictures clearly in your mind now. Images of abundant health, images of abundant love, images of abundant wealth, images of abundant impact, success. Images of abundant clients, community to serve. As you see these images in your mind, I want you to repeat to yourself in your mind now an easy mantra. And it's just quite simply, I am abundant. I am abundant. I am abundant. Now we're going to sit for just 30 seconds. And I want you to repeat that mantra. I am abundant to yourself. If you notice your mind begins to drift or wander, gently bring yourself back with your mantra. I am abundant. So now, allow yourself to drift deeper, float deeper into your everlasting, unlimited well of abundance. Feel yourself there in that space. Repeat the words, I am abundant. Now, I want you to say the same words. This time say it out loud, because when you say it out loud, you make it real. So I want you to repeat out loud 3 times. Repeat after me. I am abundant.
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 As you say these words out loud, notice what space or place in your body becomes alive. That space, that place is your center of abundance. Whenever you begin to feel lack, scarcity, constriction, constraint, this is the place and the space that you can come back to with these words: I am abundant. So now I want you to take a deep breath in and release. Whenever you feel ready, at your own pace and speed, there's no rush. Slowly, gently, and easily open up your eyes. All right. So that's a very simple and easy mantra meditation that you can bring into your life. Just those 3 words: I am abundant, I am abundant, I am abundant. And if you want, there's a really great, there's a guide. His name is David G. Does anybody know David G? Natasha knows David G. So he has some really fantastic meditative recording sets on Spotify. And you should look up his abundance meditation. They're quick. They're about 5 minutes. He does have the best voice. His voice is like this deep, soothing voice. I just love him. And he has an abundance meditation that's about 5-10 minutes long, 8 minutes long. That's really powerful. So check that out if you want to have a guided meditation, if you still are in that practice where you need some support. All right, so who's ready to talk about abundance? Are we feeling abundant? You guys feeling abundant today? Yeah? Make me believe you. I don't know. I'm not really seeing, like, show me you're abundant. Yeah, okay. That's my abundant. Yeah, there we go. You're like, I'm like, are you abundant? You're like, yeah. Come on. So we're abundant. We're abundant women. We are the creators, right? We are abundance. Physically, our bodies are abundance. We create abundance. We are abundance. So today I want to talk start off a little bit about having a conversation around money and our money beliefs. So we can kind of clear and understand a little bit more about what everybody's walking into the space with when it comes to our money stuff. And then we're going to do some really great exercises to help you reset and reframe your money beliefs, and that are going to support the rewiring work that you are doing right now this week as you're beginning around abundant wealth. And then finally, I'm going to give you a bonus assignment to complete this week. It's edgy. It's edgy, so be prepared for it. And it's probably going to trigger some of you, but that's why we do it, because we want you to go ahead and face some of these things, look at them honestly and openly, so that we can help you make sure that you're building a real business, not a fantasy business, right? Who wants a real business, not a fantasy business? Okay, so that's what we're going to help you set the direction for this week. And that's going to lead into the work that you're going to be doing next week, which is around your signature experience. So let's talk about our money beliefs. All right, who here wants to make more money? First, who wants to make more money? Okay. Who here wants to keep more money? Who here wants to be better at managing their money? Who here wants to feel okay spending money without guilt? Okay, so everybody here either wants to make, keep, or better manage money. And a lot of us also want to be able to spend money without guilt, because that's another big thing that comes up. So I want to play this game now, and it's a finish the sentence game. And you can take yourself off mute to answer this. And you can go in the chat if you want. You can just comment in the chat. That's always really effective and efficient too. So I want you to finish this sentence. I believe, and I'll write it in the chat, I believe that money is ... So I want you to finish that sentence. I believe that money is, and I want you to call yourself out. I want you to talk about, I believe that money is, the positive things and the negative things that you believe about money. So I believe that money is ... Natasha says energy. Great.
I believe that money is nice to have.
I believe that money is nice to have. Weilan says not available to me. Natasha says unlimited. Great. Yep. What else?
It's a tool.
It's a
Tool
tool.
for doing nice things, having nice things.
It's a tool for doing and having nice things.
Yeah,
I
and
believe
forgiving.
Unforgiving.
And forgiving.
Forgiving.
And, yeah.
Yeah. And then Nina says money makes my dreams come true. Weilan says money, I believe money is an exchange. Mm-hmm. What else? Anything else? I believe money runs out. Yeah, that's a good one, Paula. Yep. So that it's a finite resource, right? Okay. All right. So here's the next one I want us to complete. Natasha says is always around. Yeah. So here's the next one. Money makes me feel ... So now I want you to complete that sentence. Money makes me feel. Natasha says free. Independent, says Nina. Confidence, says Weilan. What else? How else does money make you feel? Good, says Paula. What else? Relaxed, says Natasha. Money makes me feel like I'm doing good. Yep, that's Weilan. What else does money make you feel? Does money ever trigger you? Does money ever make you feel triggered? Make you feel small? Money makes me feel in control, says Natasha. Great. What else? What else does money make you feel? Anything else?
Like, I've got something, but it's just, the word isn't coming to me. It's like, money makes me feel, it's almost not confused, but you know, if you have it and you want to do something with it, but scared, I guess, scared to, because in case it runs out, because I have this fear that it's going to run out all the time.
So money makes me scared.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, money makes me feel scared. Yeah, thank you. That's honest. Insecure, says Weilan. Yeah, money makes me feel insecure. Mm-hmm. One thing that I've heard before is money makes me feel powerless. Money makes me feel powerless. When I don't have it, or when I have it, I'm powerless to money. Anybody resonate with that story? I'm powerless to money? Mm-hmm. All right, so here's the next one. My parents told me that money was / is ... My parents told me that money was / is, you can, I think I wrote pavements instead of parents. Not growing on trees, says Nina. You might also have a grandmother or somebody else who raised you. Hard to come by, says Weilan. Unavailable, says Natasha. You have to work hard for it, says Paula. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, says Weilan. What else? My parents told me that money was or is. Anything else? Not available, says Nina. Yeah. Okay. So here's the next one. Money gives me ... Money gives me freedom, says Nina. Freedom, independence. Everybody's saying freedom, independence. Yeah. Possibilities, says Nina. Yeah. Okay. Opportunity, says Natasha. Great. Finish this one. Money can take away. Money can take away stress, says Natasha. Poverty, says Wei Lan. Money can take away. What else? What else does money take away? Ill health, the feeling of being stuck, says Nina. Mm-hmm. Yep. What else? Anything else? Worries, says Wei Lan. Yeah, great. So as you see us talking about these are just some different ways of examining and exploring your money beliefs. So I'd love to hear from you now as you're seeing yourself share around this and reflect around this and watching everybody else. Who wants to talk about what they believe their money story is? What is your current money story? Go ahead, Wei Lan.
I think from a young girl's point of view, I've always been told we don't have money, and because I'm the youngest of the eight children, so I'm the last one to get any money. Even we had money back in Vietnam. So my mentality is that I can never have money. Even I can make money, but it doesn't stay with me. So the mentality of money for me, it's somewhat, it's not available to me, and it's never enough. So there's always this sense of wanting to hold on to what I have. It never stays. Always going out. It never comes back.
Yeah, so money leaves me, there's never enough money. And in your childhood and your upbringing, you were the last to receive money. I'm the last one to get money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's available to other people before it's available to me. Yeah. Thank you. Who else wants to share? Yeah, Paula.
I had a very definite money story, and that was that I would only ever have just enough. That always happened. Each month it was just enough. If I had more at the last minute before, payday, before the time to save it, it would go, something would happen and it would go. That was a very definite story until recently. In fact, probably around the time that I started this course and did the worthiness stuff, that has definitely been changing. I still do have, there's another story as well, that I have to spend it. If I have it, get rid of it. Okay, but that seems to be changing. It does seem to be changing now. So I don't know if that was a worthiness thing, and now that is leaving me, because I'm okay now, and I thought this was going to be a hideous month actually, but last month, but yeah, I'm still okay. So that's the first time in years. So things are changing. I do think it's a worthiness thing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else believe that their money problems are attached to self-worth? Yeah. Yeah. So when we clean up our worthiness, we also clean up our money problem. So that's great, Paula. That's really, really awesome. So Nina, what's your money story, sister?
Yeah, I wasn't going to share, but no, but for me, it's like money is always flowing to me and I don't have to do anything for it. So that's what keeps me stuck. So there's always plenty of money and it just keeps coming, but not through my effort. So that's what keeps me stuck.
Mm-hmm. I share that one. I grew up in an abundant household. I don't know if you grew up in an abundant household, but I grew up with money, and I can make money whenever I want. So I get money easily. I keep money. I can make money. But then I've recently, since I started my business, my worthiness problems were my biggest blocker. And so I would end up having this ability to make money because money is easy for me. It's easy to flow to me. And then when my worthiness stuff came up, it kind of compounded with this, like, I don't have to really work to get money. So it was this opportunity for me to hide around that belief. So I had young worthiness and like, but I don't have to work. Money just comes to me. It's always just come to me. I've always had it. And so the two things kind of compounded and didn't work in the new reality that I was trying to create around building the business. So thank you for sharing that, because it's not always a lack of money that's our story. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So I wanted to talk a little bit. And has anybody watched the videos from this week yet? Yeah, or listen to the recording? Okay, so here's the thing about money. Most people, I'm going to draw some diagrams. Most people, when we grow up and we think about money and the accumulation of money over our lifetimes, we're told that it should look something like this, right? As we grow older or as we grow in our careers and work, that we should accumulate more and more money, especially in business. But I don't know about you, but that's pretty far from reality. In my life experience, it's gone something a bit more like this. Right? There's a steady uptick perhaps, but there is no straight line when it comes to money creation. Do you know anybody who's only accumulated wealth and never had a dip of wealth or money in their life? No, because it doesn't happen that way. Not really, right? Even if you're making a lot of money, you may be spending it too, right? You may accumulate, but you're going to have ebbs and flow of money. That's just how it works. So the one thing that I want to help you when you think about money, and that the biggest challenge I think that we have with money is that we have an unrealistic expectation that we place on money. We expect money to only go like this. But the reality is that money is energy, as I think Leilani said, and energy flows. It's like the current. I kind of think about money like the ocean. It comes and it recedes. It comes and it recedes. And sometimes it pulls far back, and then sometimes it just is a little bit back, but it comes and it recedes. Like the ocean tide, it ebbs and it flows. And our problem is that we don't trust the return. The problem is that we make the money and we don't, and if it starts to leave us because we've consciously chosen to allow it to leave, or because it's been required, the energy flow is required someplace else other than with us in our space, we start to doubt the return. And that's what moves us into an attitude of lack and scarcity. It's why when we receive the money, we hoard the money and we feel guilty for spending it. So when we receive the money, that we spend the money immediately because we don't trust that it's going to stay, right? So it's that process of ebbing and flowing and the lack of trust that creates this unhealthy relationship that we have with money. So I want you to start to reframe your relationship with money as a trusting relationship. Sometimes it's going to be there and it's going to be overflowing, and sometimes it's going to be in a little bit of a recession. It's going to be ebbing. And your opportunity in that is to always be in the trusting of its return. For example, in my business in the last month, I have brought on 3 new amazing people onto our team. I have Natasha, who's on our team now. I have our amazing saleswoman that I've hired. And then I've also hired and invested in a Facebook advertising agency. This means that I have had to release quite a bit of money out from my business in the last month. Now, I noticed during that time that I could have had an opportunity to lapse back into a scarcity mindset, to start to think, oh, well, I don't have as much money right now, or I don't have enough money right now to do X, Y, Z thing. However, I constantly have to stand in the truth, in the reality that I trust money to return to me, that I trust that by releasing this money out into these investments, into these people that I know can help our business grow, that the money will then have a portal to return through. I choose, says Natasha, yeah. So I choose to trust this in myself. And as I stand in that trust, just so happens that one of my clients I've been working with, who's on a regular, like 6-month recurring retainer, I had a conversation last week with her and I said, are you interested in continuing a relationship? If so, or do you want to complete? And if so, we can set up time to have either of those conversations. She's like, oh yeah, of course I'm continuing, and I'll pay up front in full again. And she's an old legacy client. That's $12,000 that she's going to pay me up front in full tonight. Actually, we have our coaching conversation to talk about it. And so that's more than the money that I just spent, far more. And not only that, but by investing in the salesperson and doing this work this last week, I made $11,000 in my business by bringing on 2 new people into the next round of Worth to Wealth and selling somebody into a downsell product. And I only had one of those sales calls. My salesperson sold the other ones. So I tell you the story because as business women, as entrepreneurs, we must be comfortable with the ebb and flow of money from our lives. And we must be willing to trust the energetic exchange and responsiveness of money in our lives and our role in relationship to it. Because if we are not in that trusting of money, and we allow our ego and our lack and scarcity mindset and really what truly is our feeling of unworthiness of it to stand in our way, we will never be able to receive it and embrace it when it's there, and to let it go lovingly when it leaves, because it will do both. It's not if, it's when. So that's my message to you about money, is to really see it as this energetic flow, like the ocean tide that will come and leave, and your relationship and your trust of it is what matters most. You wouldn't stand on the beach and watch the tide pull out and freak out and think that the ocean's going away and never going to come back, right? And start like running around on the ground and scooping up all the little bits of water that you can and put it into glasses and put it on a shelf and be like, I'm never touching that ocean water because it's never coming back. No, that's not how it works, right? You stand on the beach and you watch the tide leave, and you know when you wake up in the morning that it will be back, right? Because that's the energetic flow. And we are all energy, and money is a tool, and it's responsive to your energy. So this is why in Abundant Wealth, and the recording that you are going to have this week and begin listening to, we talk not only about your money relationship, but we also talk about releasing and letting go that attitude of lack and scarcity. Does anybody here listen to Abraham Hicks and familiar with the law of attraction? Okay, so yeah, good. I figured as much, but you got to ask. So Abraham Hicks and they talk a lot about the more that you focus on what you don't want, that's more of what you get, right? So if you want something to happen, then you must choose to focus your energy, attention, and awareness on the desired state. So if you're in an ebb in money, in your relationship with money in your business, your opportunity isn't to focus on the ebb, it's to focus on the return of the flow. If you focus on the return, that's when you can really stand in your power, and you'll create that energetic frequency, that vibrational match to your desire. But when you resonate at the energy of lack and scarcity, you are actually resonating at a lower vibrational frequency, and you will attract more lack and scarcity into your life. If you can then instead, standing in lack and scarcity, say, I'm abundant and money flows to me easily and effortlessly, then you are now choosing to stand in a place of the vibration of your positive desire, and then you will create more and attract more of that. Now, it is not to say that you do not need to be in the process of deliberate creation. You do, right? It doesn't mean that you sit on your couch and eat bonbons and drink wine and watch Netflix and expect money to flow. That's the thing that I've learned the hard way. So like, oh, money just shows up for me. No, actually, deliberate, intentional creation that is designed and aligned to connect to your core desires, your purpose, your passion, and your truth is what will excite money and thrill the universe in your creation, right? So when you stand in that place of deliberate creation, now you can attract money in. You can call it in. And money loves action. Money loves energy. It loves it when you're in action, and it responds to it. So the more you can be in that deliberate creation around your gift, around your service, around your offers, the more easily money can come to you. And then you can decide how you want to spend your money and interact with your money in a way that is also in alignment with your core values, which is why we did the values work. So your core values then become the rudder to your ship on that ebb and flow of that ocean of money. Now you have that rudder that can steer you in the direction, the way that you want to save that money or spend that money. You can check in with your values when you're spending and saving. Like, is this decision to save, to spend, to reinvest in alignment with the things that are most critical, important to my way of being? And if the answer is no, then you have an opportunity to dive deeper and to evaluate where this decision around your money is truly emanating from. If the answer is yes, then you have the decision and the opportunity to follow through with that choice and commitment, and then fully allow and receive the experience of that deliberate creation. So your values are an important underlying element in your relationship with money and your trust in the spending, saving, and management of it. Is this resonating? Yes? Okay, great. So now we're going to do a really cool activity. But before I do, I want to get your reflections on this. Tell me what's coming up for you as you hear me talk about this relationship with money and your core values and that energetic ebb and flow.
So it makes sense for me. And I can see where I've been kind of like going wrong. Not going wrong, but it makes total sense. It's going to take practice to do, because I've tried it so many times before. Just trusting that it's going to come back. So I think a lot of practice, a lot of awareness of my thoughts are needed.
Mm-hmm. And when you were in that trust in the past, were you also in deliberate creation?
Yeah, and in fact, that's been recently when I've been back in the UK. I've been just trusting, and this happened last summer as well. Actually, I had a good summer because I just trusted that it would be there. But coming back here, I can already see that I started going straight back into the pattern that I was in before, and I don't know why. When I get back here, I don't know if it's because when I'm here I've got bills to pay and stuff, and when I'm not, I don't know. But
well, yeah.
Yeah, but I know, but literally I've only been here 4 days or something, and I can see straight away I'm like being careful with money again, whereas when before I was just like, right, there'll be more.
So when you're in this environment, because the bills still needed to get paid before, right?
Yeah.
But so now you're here in this environment, and what about this environment reminds you of that?
Maybe my husband, because he's not with us when we're in the UK, so he's here. So probably him. Also, what else? Probably the main thing, really. I think, apart from, having to do grocery shopping and things like that, but I do that in the UK as well. So, yeah, maybe it's him and the fact that we talk about money and things.
So money, it comes up more in your conversation. Yeah. So tell me, what are your husband's money beliefs? Have you guys had a conversation about?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, he says all the time, we can't afford it, all the time. And I tell him not to, because I don't want the children picking up on that. and he doesn't want to spend anything until we've saved. And so that's him. And I'm trying to get out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be quite difficult. And actually, I was thinking of having the conversation and just saying, let's just not talk about money for a bit. Let's just not discuss it, because I'm trying to work on myself. I don't really know what to do there, because his automatic thing is to go back to we can't afford it. And I asked him about that, and he said that was all he was said to him when he was younger. His mum said that all the time. Yeah.
So it's almost an automatic response for him. It's unconscious.
It is. And I say to him a lot of the time, we can afford it. Or instead of saying we can't afford it, let's say how can we afford it, but so that's a bit difficult.
Have you considered well, I have two suggestions. A, put your abundant wealth recording on at night on speaker.
Yes. Now, last night when I was lying there and I was listening to my worthiness one, I did that. And I thought, I'm going to do this with the abundance one and see what happens. Yeah, I did that last night. And actually,
get his permission. Get his permission. You need his permission.
Well, he'll be up for it, definitely, because I said to him, does he want to do the worthiness one? And he said he would. So he'll definitely be up for it. He's been my guinea pig plenty of times as well. So.
Well, then if he's up to it, allow him to listen to it with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then, if the two of you create a shared belief system,
mm-hmm.
I wonder what that would look like for you and your husband to have a shared belief system around money.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to take a lot of convincing, I think, because he won't see it. I can see the energy thing, and I can see, the ebb and flow and everything, but I don't know if he will.
Mm-hmm. He'll
listen to the recording. I know he will.
Yeah. So, and I might also encourage you to what I'm hearing is that you have this relationship in your life with this person who has a different perspective than you do around money, and you're working to change your perspective, and this person is still entrenched in an old perspective. Does anybody else have this issue in their life where they have a certain perspective of money, and somebody else, it could be a mother, a father, a husband, somebody else has this other perspective? And what we have to do in those places and spaces is allow our boundary to be maintained. So if you were to think about your money boundary, what would that look like, and how far out does that stand? And I like to think about creating boundaries in creating like a visual experience in my mind, so that when somebody's beliefs are projected onto me, I have some image in my mind of them being projectiled back in the opposite direction. So one image that I've created for myself around boundaries is that there's like this force field, like this pink kind of clear like force field, and whenever anything tries to come into that force field, it's just immediately dissolved, and it can't even come through. So it tries to come through the barrier and it just kind of disappears before it gets to me. Other clients of mine have come up with visuals and images of it bouncing back off. I like the permeable barrier though, because something to me feels more like open than just like this bounce rigid thing, but that's what resonated with them. So if you were to create that image in your mind, what would that look like for you, Paula?
I've done that before, actually. That's just with people, speaking negatively, and it's just, it is the bouncing off thing, bouncing off, bouncing away.
Bouncing away, like a rubber?
Yeah. But actually what I was thinking of doing, and I don't know if you think this is a good idea, but I was just thinking of just keeping my business separate, if you get what I mean. So he's dealing with everything else and I deal with this and grow this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Just keep it completely separate and just have my own little thing. Yeah,
and I think that you need to be mindful. It feels like there might be something I feel a sense of avoidance in there as well.
I don't know. I don't think so. It's just, his beliefs are very different to mine anyway, just generally. Like, I completely understand and believe in the law of attraction. He doesn't at all. You know, so when I'm talking, you know, if a conversation comes up and if I say to him money is energy, he'll just think I'm crazy, you know.
Does he agree that money is a tool?
Yeah.
Okay. So perhaps you can have a conversation that's more about money as a tool.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And kind of flipping it, because that's somewhere, a place that where you both stand on common ground. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel that there's something in here, that the fact that you guys don't have that you're not in alignment around your belief system
Mm-hmm.
is what's triggering you. And what I'm hearing ultimately is that his worldview is taking over yours.
Mm.
So his perspective is what triggers you to change your behavior, not the other way around.
Yeah, recently. Before we were in alignment, we'd both be the same. But this is a recent thing now. So, but some things have changed money-wise. He's taken over the money now, which I don't know if that will change things, because for the 12 years we've been together, I've dealt with the money, and I kind of wish now that I still was, because now I'm changing. But anyway, he's taken over the money, so I'm trying to just forget about that and just build my business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think focusing on building the business is great, and that is going to keep triggering you unless it's dealt with.
Okay.
So where my invitation to you is you've got a new belief system being built right now.
Yeah.
And so it's tender. It's tender, easily influenced. So my invitation to you is think about what can you create in your physical world environment that helps remind you and holds you steady and still in your new truth. So that you need to over-remind and over-reinforce this behavior when you have a strong influence in your life, when you've got a new belief system being built. So if you were on your own, you could have a little less of that reinforcement. But because you have somebody who's openly kind of picking at this fresh new belief, kind of like tick, 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 you need to do more reinforcing of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But what do you suggest?
Well, what do you think would be a good environmental trigger for you?
So I'm thinking, like tomorrow, actually, I'm going to be sort of making myself a little office, using another room and clearing it out and making a little office. So maybe I could put something on the wall or something, because I will be in that every single day to remind myself. Other than that, I don't really know.
Yeah, that's a great start. That's a really great start.
Maybe actually a note, you know, a money note or something. I don't know.
Yes, and we're going to be doing something this week around money too that you can frame and put up, but that is a great idea. I actually, I'll share my background with you guys right now. I want to show you one of the ways that can you guys see my computer? Okay, I want to show you what I did. Gosh, I have a lot of things open. Hold on, I'll get to it. It's coming. It's coming. And, oh my Lord, one more. Okay, there you go. See that? It says 100,000. And then down at the bottom, it says, I am abundant, I am abundant. At the top, I am abundant. So this is a desktop screensaver that I made for myself because my goal for the next round of enrollment for Worth to Wealth in September is $100,000. That's 20 women at $5,000 each. So that's why I have this up. I also have another goal to create $100,000 in one day. So that's why I have $100,000 on my desktop, and it says, I'm abundant, I'm abundant, I'm abundant. And then you can also put these kinds of reminders on your phone. So like as a screensaver on your phone. So every time you open your phone, you see that reminder. That's a really great place for it. Who looks at their phone multiple times a day? Well, I do. So your phone is a great tool for positive reinforcement of your belief systems. And you can create this in Canva. Super easy. Take you 5 minutes. and then you can print it out. They have posters, all kinds of nice designs that you can make. So that's my suggestion to you, is find something that looks really great, that can, and then put those triggers up everywhere. Put one on your refrigerator, put one in your car, put one in your office, write it in marker, washable marker on your mirror in your bathroom, put it on your cell phone, put it on your computer, literally put it everywhere around you, everywhere you can. Because the more you see it, the more it makes it real. And so now this $100,000 number, I look at this every day, all day, when I don't have tons of screens open, but I look at it every day, all day. And I'm like, the first time I said it, I was like, woo, woo. Now I'm like, yeah, that's happening. Like, that's happening. 100%. So that's my my advice, and I like your idea, Paula, is to create that framed thing in your office. That's a great start. Okay, cool. Does anybody else want to share some stuff that's coming up for them around their money beliefs? Yeah, go ahead, Willa.
I've always had this problem of making money. Well, it's actually only the last 3 years I had to start making money, because when my husband and I separated, I had to take care of myself. But before that, I didn't really need to make money. But I had to work really hard the first 2 years, and I did create quite a lot of money. But then somehow it's dropped. It's always up, and then I don't know when money's going to come back. Like something's gone wrong. So the past year, or since I did RTT, my earning has really dipped. And it hasn't really picked up like it did the last 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I just wonder, even I try to have the belief that, to trust that it's going to come, just do whatever I can meantime, and I won't starve. It'll come, and then it stop. So it's always this back and forth. And I don't know how to go forward and allow it to be a little bit more steady.
Mm-hmm. So what are you focusing on when you have, as you hear yourself talking, what is it that you're focusing on?
What, the past year or generally?
Just right now.
I don't think I'm focusing much on money recently.
What do you feel like you're focusing
on? Spending, like the course, and doing things I enjoy. Doing retreats, and I don't buy many things. I don't. It doesn't please me, but I do a lot of things that's meaningful, that mm-hmm. requires money. Mm-hmm. But in terms of making money, I really don't know. When I stop, just let it go. Somehow things happen, but it doesn't stay. It falls, it drops, and until I'm desperate again, it'll go up.
Oh, so talk to me about that. When I'm desperate again, it goes up. What shifts in you in those times?
I don't do anything. I try to just let go and allow more trust. Whatever mm-hmm. happens, and let that happen and see what happens.
So when you you said the money drops, you become desperate, then you choose to let go, trust, and then the money returns? Yeah. So are there any changes at all in your behavior during those times?
I can't think of anything different. I just have to try and convince myself that money is available to me, and it will come.
Mm-hmm. So I think that it's interesting. What I'm hearing for you is that every time money becomes a means for survival, you manage to create it.
Yeah. Well, life is pretty much has been on a survival mode throughout my life. So perhaps when it reaches that peak, and it doesn't come anymore because I don't need it.
Yes. Yeah. So money is a tool for survival. That sounds like the story.
Yeah.
And if I'm surviving and I'm comfortable and I have the things that I need and want, then my drive to create money is no longer, it may not be the same, may not be as powerful. And therefore, I begin to lose money, and you reinforce the subconscious pattern of, oh, money's gone again. I need money for survival.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Does that sound right? Yeah. So what I'd be curious to see when you do your regression for abundant wealth is what comes forward for you around the experiences that you have and what you might do to change this belief in the subconscious when you're doing your letting go work, really focusing on this idea that if money isn't a tool for survival, what would be the opposite of that?
Yeah. It's almost like I don't have the permission for me to have things. Don't let myself have the permission. And I would just leave with the basics. And if I don't need any more, then it stops.
Yeah. So there's that money is only here, like money helps me survive. I only need money to survive. So I only need the basics covered, my rent, just enough for food, just enough for my clothes. And then that leaves nothing left over. And then I've been able to survive because my only job is to survive. And if I've survived, then that's enough. I don't deserve to earn anything beyond surviving. And given your story and what your family went through to create the life that you have now, to bring you over here, I mean, that makes sense that you would have picked up that belief. It's all about survive. Survive, 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 not thrive. And that's the opportunity that I'm hearing for you, is to shift this survival mindset to a thrival mindset, a mindset of thriving. I deserve to thrive. I deserve to thrive. I'm worthy of thriving. I'm worthy of having more. I am worthy of creating more. Money is no longer just a tool for surviving. I'm changing that now.
So is that a worthiness issue?
Yeah. I'm not worthy of having more because it wasn't modeled for you.
Yeah.
It wasn't modeled for you.
We had abundance back in Vietnam when we had business, but during the communist takeover, when we had to flee the country, that's when we had to start all over. And well, actually, just being alive was enough because of what we went through, on the boat and all that.
Yeah. So here you are now trying to build a business, and you had this experience of having safety and security, and then that money was removed from you, and you lost your basic human needs, safety and security. We're not talking about like not having a comfortable pillow at night. We're talking about life and death, safety, security, basic needs. And so now money became a tool for just surviving. It just became a tool for just surviving. If we could just get enough to survive, then at least we're alive, right? At least we're alive. And so you maybe had the abundance there, but after that trauma, it's really been encoded in you. You may want to do the regression more than once, Weilong.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't recommend that for everyone, but especially if you have something that's really deep like that, you may want to do the regression more than one time. And my invitation to you is to start to be in the awareness of, when am I interacting with money as a tool for survival versus a tool for thriving? Just being in your awareness of it. How often am I looking at it right now like, oh, this is just a tool for me to barely make ends meet?
Well, as I'm getting older, then I feel it's a little bit more urgent because I don't have any financial security because I'm not in a marriage anymore. So all these things I have to consider how I'm going to take care of myself
Yeah.
through old age. Yeah.
So what I want to draw forward for you, you're thinking about survival.
Yeah.
Do you see? I have to take care of myself. I have to be able to survive. So you're already capping the opportunity that you're creating in your relationship with money. So you could think about your relationship with money like a boyfriend or like a lover. And if you said, I just want a boyfriend who shows up when I call or answers the phone, you can have that kind of boyfriend, and you'll get that boyfriend who just shows up when you call, or that husband who just shows up and answers the phone. But if you say, I want a husband who brings me flowers unexpectedly and shows up without being called, you'll get that husband. You'll get that boyfriend. Because you won't be willing to settle for anything less than that. So right now your set point is too low. So instead of thinking about, I need money to make sure that I survive into my old age, which is a survival relationship with money, think about what would be expansive beyond that. Think about, I choose to have money to travel the world in my old age.
Actually, when I did RTT, that's the most expensive thing I've ever spent on.
Yeah.
And I gave myself permission to do that. And plus doing this course.
Yeah.
I would just hang on thinking, well, that's my savings. But somehow I try to invest it.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
Yeah. So there's a book that you guys might want to read. It's called The Last Safe Investment by Michael Ellsberg. And in that book, he talks about a new paradigm for investing. And he shifts away the concept of investing in like this idea of 401ks and retirement and this whole paradigm of save until you're 65 or 70, and then you don't have any life to live, and then you've got all this money, but you've got 10 years, 15 years to actually do something with, but you don't have the energy, you don't have the same ability that you did when you were younger. So his whole perspective is shifted around this idea of the last safe investment is you and your relationships that you invest in and the experiences that you invest in. Retirement nest eggs are nice. However, what's the point if you can't do anything with it? So he looks at yourself as an investment. Anyway, it's a really nice flip on the concept of saving and investing. And I recommend it for you guys to check out if that's one of your hot points around money, is like, it's not okay for me to spend money, which is what Waylon's talking. It's like, not okay for me. You're working on that. You're clearly changing that now. But that's a great book to read. So
The Last Safe Investment.
The Last Safe Investment. Yep, that's right. So thank you for sharing that, Waylon. And I recommend that you do the reporting a couple times through to do the regression a couple times through to work through that. Thank you. All right, who wants to do a fun activity for money to help us step into a more powerful vision for money? Yeah? Okay, so we're gonna do this fun exercise now. And in Thinkific, there is the coaching exercises module. You can go into Thinkific and check out the coaching exercises module, and there is a PDF uploaded for you there that is called Money Move Exercises or Money Love Exercises. And that is going to give you a breakdown of the assignments that we're going to be doing now and for the rest of the week. Sound good? Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your piece of paper and your pen, and I'm going to guide you through this step-by-step process. And this is kind of like a money release / vision, like an abundance calling in exercise. Okay? So the first thing that you're going to write down, step 1, is I want you to write down, what did you make last year? Step 1, write down, what did you make last year? As close as you can, an approximation is fine. You don't need to have the exact, to the cent or to the dollar, but an approximation, what did you make last year? And once you've written it down, put it in the chat. Paula, 28. Is that 28,000 or pounds? Dollars, pounds. Okay. Dollars, okay.
Yeah, so that's true.
1,000 pounds, says Natasha. Great. 3,000, says Nina. 33-ish, says Weilan. Okay, great. So here's what I want you to do. If you were to double it, what would you receive this year? I want you to write that down on your paper and then put it in the chat.
Double it.
Double it.
Oh, it's a 6.
Six
Lucky
is- Lucky number 6. So Weilan is 66,000, Natasha's 20,000, Nina is 6,000. Okay, great. Now, I want you to take a deep breath in and close your eyes, and I want you to sit with that number for a second. Don't trip over it. Really sit with that number. So close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and sit with that number for you. See it in your mind. See the curves, the lines, the angles of that number. Really allow it in for just a moment. As you sit with it, just noticing any resistance that comes up, where it comes from. I want you to imagine as though you have an imaginary pen right now, and you can pick that imaginary pen up. And if you want, you can cross that number out. And instead, you can write a new number, and that new number is what it is you really desire to make this year. So really connect into that desire. What is it that you really desire to make this year? And allow that number to form in your mind without judgment. Without restriction or constraint. And if a new number came forward for you, I want you to open your eyes now and draw a line through the old number and write the new number down. Natasha went to 90,000. Yeah. Who else has a new number? Weilan, 88888. I like it.
8 for wealth in Chinese.
Ooh.
And I'm born number 8. So I should be really wealthy, but I'm not.
Well, you're changing that. You're changing that now, remember. Clean up that language. All right. Paula says 80,000 and Nina says 120,000. Okay, great. So here's the next question. And I want you to write this down on your paper. What will allow you, or excuse me, what will that number allow you to say yes to? What will that number allow you to say yes to? Not only in terms of material possessions and experiences, but also within yourself. What will that number, by choosing to claim that number, what are you choosing to say yes to in yourself? What will it allow you to say yes to in your life and in yourself? Just take a moment and write that down.
Can you maybe?
Yes.
Understanding the question.
Yeah, so when you see that number, 88888, what will that allow you to say yes to in your life?
Okay. What things I want to do?
Things you want to do, things you want to experience, and also things that you desire for within yourself. What will allow you to say yes to in yourself?
Can it be more than one?
Yeah, absolutely. Multiple things. This should be a list. Running your own business, the freedom of choice in life. What else, Nina? Blow that out a little bit more, guys. What else does it allow you to say yes to? Really, really dive in. Take a few moments. Does it allow you to say yes to people? Does it allow you to say yes to your purpose or your passion? Does it allow you to say yes to your gift? And Natasha says, running my own business, my children, my lifestyle, helping others from a place of ease. Yeah. Whenever you feel complete, go ahead and type in your answers in the box in the chat. Mylon says, financial freedom, increasing my creative. Yeah, more long-term retreat. Ooh. Ooh, I think you need a retreat-based business, girl. I'm just going to say that. To give back and do more. Awesome. Excellent. Nina says, staying in Bali for a 3rd year, luxurious travels. Yeah, giving my husband more freedom in his choice of work. Beautiful. Loving. Just wait for Paula to put hers in. I could see she was working hard at putting her list together. Playful out Paula. It's my new nickname for you. Everybody here plays Fallout. All of you guys are playing Fallout. All right, so let's see what Paula's got for us. And there's one more step to take after this. Leave my job and work for myself. Freedom to choose where we travel and helping out my family. And allow us to take a risk on where we want to move next year and the year after. Excellent. Okay, so here is your final step. To move into inspired action, so to move you into inspired action, now that you've thought about this, you can see this number. What is the one thing you will do in the next 48 hours to make this happen? One thing that you will do in the next 48 hours to make this number a reality. Leilon's got it. Finish this course. Can you do that in 48 hours? We still have 4 weeks to go. Give me something. She's gonna future travel. Awesome. What's the one thing you can do in 48 hours in the next 2 days to make this number a reality? Spend money trusting it will come back. Great. Can you be more specific, Paula? Nina says focus on creating your signature experience. Yep, you're going to be doing that next week with us in the course. So what's something you could do in the next 48 hours to actually call in that money? How about creating a client? Oh, Paula gives a sigh. God damn it. Offer by offer. Yeah. Yeah, Natasha, offer your offer. Reach out to one person that you could serve.
I'm waiting on a wealthy client for reflexology.
Mm.
£300 for treatment. So if they have the whole family, I could bring in a bit of money in one night.
Great. So you're going to get this wealthy client in the next 48 hours. You're going to do what it takes to close them?
Well, I'm waiting to hear from her. She's the queen of somewhere, and client recommended me.
Oh, fantastic. So
sometimes I get these really wealthy clients from the Middle East, and they come and but they're not easy. They're hard work, waiting around, and but the treatment is really easy. They pay well.
Yeah. So will you follow up with her in 48 hours, within the next 48 hours?
Well, I can't do anything. I have to hear from her, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't have anybody you can reach out to ask if she's made a decision?
No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay. So you're waiting. Okay.
So I'll send out my prayers.
Send out prayers. All right. Great. We'll send you positive money flow there. Oh, finish your Facebook page and invite people to it. Good idea, Paula. I like that one. All right. Write a blog and post it on your personal page. Yeah. Yeah. So here's what I want to point out in these commitments that I've seen coming through. They're not directly money generating. You guys see that? And this is the exact thing that a lot of us get into when it comes to business, is that we put things in front of our money. We allow things to come before our relationship with money. If you could think about your money like a partner, you've just all said, well, I'll love my money, honey, when after I get my nails done. You've all put up barriers to creating the money. The fastest and most direct route to creating money in your business, to creating that number, is and always will be connecting with somebody and offering them to have a conversation with you about what you do. That is always the fastest and most direct route to creating money. But our fear of rejection and the fear of being seen in the attitude of lack and scarcity that we carry within us is the thing that keeps us from making that simple act a daily part of our practice in building business. So if you're ever sitting there wondering, what can I do to make money, to get closer to my financial goal? There's always one answer: connect with somebody. Tell them what you do. Ask them if you can have a conversation. But who do I ask? So Paula, we're going to be getting closer and closer to that. But really, you start with anybody. You start with anybody. You just say, hey, I'm doing this new thing. This is a new business. I'm looking for people who are struggling with this, this, and this. Do you know anybody who might need help with that? It's really not that hard. But we feel like we have to make it these complex things. And I'm not saying the other activities that you put on this list are not good things to do. They're all helpful things to do. But there's something that can have a higher leverage and even more impact on your business, which is just reaching out to people and telling them what you do and offering them into a conversation. That's it. Inviting them into a conversation. That's it. We're going to be talking more about how to do outreach and referrals. So we're going to get here, but I wanted to draw this out so that you could see how you stall your ability and your capacity to earn. It's difficult to know who to speak to. See, that's a story, Paula. It's really not. Your cousin just like randomly talked to them. You spoke to your cousin and your cousin got you a lead. It's not difficult to know who to speak to. It's a story. You could speak to anybody. And at this phase, you're speaking to anybody and everybody about this one thing that you do. That's it. It's called the Chatterbox campaign. And that just means getting out there and telling everyone, hey guys, this is what I do. This is who I do it for. Do you know anybody that could be served powerfully through this opportunity, through this work? Yes or no? And that is the process of going out and just speaking the truth about what you do. I like to think about it like this. Like if you were throwing a birthday party for your friend or your husband or your child, and you wanted to invite everybody you knew, you would just reach out to everybody and say, hey, everybody, I'm hosting this party. Here's where it is. Here's what time it takes place. You should really be there. If you know anybody, a friend that you want to invite, please tell them to come along, right? You don't get scared to invite people to a birthday party. But for some reason, when it's something to do that has money on the other side, now all of a sudden it's like, well, I can't ask. I'm promoting myself. I'm selling myself. Well, no, it's still an invitation. It's an invitation just the same. It's the same thing. So when I think about doing outreach and I think about creating clients through this one-on-one connection, I like to replace my energy with the energy of the birthday party invite. Again, it's a birthday party invite. Throw it a cool party. Throw it a dope party. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great food, great music, great people. Of course you want to come. Do you want to be there? Yes or no? Right? Yeah, go ahead, Paula.
I think it's better to speak because I've got a fair bit to say. So first of all, I don't know how to sell. So if I do, get someone that wants to speak to me, I don't know how to sort of sell it and close it. I don't know what to charge. I haven't got a website ready.
Yeah. All of these are stories. So here's the thing. You do know what to charge, anything at this point. Right now, anything. You do know how to sell. You just created a client. The only reason why you didn't get paid for it is because you didn't ask for money. It's the only reason why you didn't get paid. But you sold her. You closed her. You made a client.
Yeah.
The only reason why you didn't get money is because you didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
So you know exactly what to do. You don't need a business. You don't need a website to get a business off the ground. Not necessary. Because the only thing that people care about is that you know what you're talking about and that they can trust you when they meet you. None of that matters. None of it matters. I created my first $75,000 consulting client without a website. I created my first private coaching client without a website. I created my first corporate client without a website. I created my first 5 private coaching clients who paid me $1,000 a month each without a website. I didn't have a Facebook page. I didn't have a website. I didn't even have business cards. I had a personal email address. And the only reason why I was able to do it is because I went out and I asked. This is why we're doing the work this week on abundance. This is why we're stepping into this, because the only reason why we don't ask is because of this fear that we're not worthy of receiving. Money is an energetic exchange. Everything else, all those other things around it is just story. And they sound really good. They sound like really good stories. But I don't know how to sell. I don't have a website and I don't have it, so I can't. It's all good stories. It's like your kid is like, but mom, I don't like the rain. Whatever crazy story your kid comes up with not to eat peas. I'm sure it's a good story, but mom, peas are mushy. Oh yes, peas are mushy, but you still need to eat peas, right? We'll come up with all kind of fantastical stories to keep us from one thing that we need to do, which is to speak. That's it. But that fear of rejection and that attitude of lack and scarcity and not enoughness is what gets triggered. So I get it. I've been there. And I allowed it to stop me so powerfully that it made me go broke in my business over 1.5 years ago. So I've been there, sisters. I freaking understand. But it's not until you move through and come through that you really begin to build. And the worthiness work that you're doing and the abundance rewiring work that you're doing right now is what's going to enable you. It is enabling you. As you can see, Paula, you've already got a fertility client. She's going to refer you to other people. Next time you ask for money, the difference. You know how to sell. Your conviction is what sells people. Your belief in the product and the service you offer is what sells people. Your open heart, a willingness to listen, to help them see what's available to them is what sells people. Your ask is what creates the money. Your powerful ask. And it's not about you. It's about them. It's always about them. Because when they choose to invest, when all of you chose to invest in this program, you were investing in yourself. You're putting money down on the table and you were saying, I bet on me. I'm making a bet on myself. I'm betting on myself that if I show up, if I play full out in this program, if I really do the work, that I'm going to make it. Because I believe in myself. Even if I'm turning that fear, I'm using that fear into faith right now. I'm turning that fear into faith right now, but I'm betting on me. And that's all you do when you create a client. You help them bet on themselves. So when you think about what you can do in the next 48 hours, all of these things are great. And I encourage you to go out and do them. But I also want you to be aware that you are avoiding the one thing that scares the shit out of you. Just own it. Just own it. That's it. And there's nothing wrong with it. But know that that's what's real. Because if that's the thing that you can overcome, if you can get to the place, and that's what you will do by the end of this course, by the end of this program, you will be able to sit down and send an email or a message to anyone and invite them to something, to get a referral, to ask for a recommendation. You will be there. So now is the time to really focus on diving deep on this money block and this issue around your worthiness so that you can take that fearless, massive action. Little tough love. Little tough love. But from a place of deep truth in my own life experience in building my business. Because the more you ask, the more you receive, right? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Waylon.
I've got 10 journalists to see me, but it's for reflexology and meditation. So perhaps that's when a good time for me to also introduce my other work.
Yes. 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 Yes, yes, yes. That's it. This is your opportunity to offer your new pitch.
So hopefully by then I'll be ready. It'll be in September. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll be totally ready by then. Yeah, you'll be ready. You have your pitch now. You can go out and use your pitch tomorrow. Waylon, you have a beautiful list of you have a beautiful opportunity that some of the women here don't have, which is that you have a list of clientele. Who here wouldn't kill for a list of existing clients that you could go in and offer your services to? Yeah, so you have an existing clientele. The only thing you have to do is start telling all of them about this new service that you offer. You're sitting on a gold mine.
I have previously did a mail out, but I didn't get much response.
Like an email or a direct, like a letter? Or...
MailChimp.
Yeah, yeah. You probably didn't position it right. You probably didn't make the offer correctly. It probably got buried in people's inboxes. But if you sent a personal email to every single person, or you got on the phone and you called every single person, you would create clients. You would. But that's the thing, like we distance ourselves from the offer, see? Like, oh, I'll send it out over MailChimp. But what you really can do, if you really want to be street and you really care and you really want these clients and you really want to do this work, you would pick up the phone, you would call them. But we don't do that stuff, right? We don't pick up the phone and we don't call because we're like, oh, I'll send an email instead. A little less scary rejection than somebody on the phone being like, no, I don't understand that, or I don't want that, or whatever, right?
I still do that with some clients, like, I don't want to go there yet.
Yeah, so you email, and you're like, oh, this is a degree of separation between me and my fear. So it makes it a little easier for me to deal with it. So yeah, you're sitting on a gold mine, girl. You've got that gold mine right there underneath you. And when we create your signature experience and we do some of the steps in the money games around outreach, I'm positive you will end up creating clients because you've got them. They're right there. You've got a really special situation that, like I said, a lot of the women here would just be like, oh my God, I wish I had an existing group of clients who are already turned on to mindfulness, who are already turned on to mind-body connection, who are already in the awareness of that, willing to spend money on that, have spent money on that previously with me, trust me, know me, like me, willing to listen to me. That's a great opportunity that you've created for yourself. A really great opportunity. So my desire is for you to see the abundance that you've already created. It's not outside of you. It's right here. You're sitting on top of it, literally sitting on top of it.
I think what I need to do is because I spend so much time building my spiritual life, so some of that quality can be merged into the business sense now. I need to know how to do that without separating the two, because they can really work hand in hand. This is what
my former coach helped me with this, and he talked about the metaphor, chop wood, carry water. You're more steeped in Buddhist practice than I am, and Zen practice probably than I am. And I don't know who the teacher was, but he lived at a Zen monastery in silence for 6 months, and was a monk there for a while. And he and I were having the same conversation. How do I bring my spiritual practice into my real world practice to create material abundance in my life, money abundance in my life? And he talked about this idea: every time you step into a new edge in your business, which is facing your fear of rejection, asking for something that you want to receive, offering your gift to the world, what you're actually doing is you're creating another opportunity to go deeper into your spiritual being, because you're confronting and facing your ego. You're confronting and facing that human experience that you have that is not your transcendent self. And that gives you an opportunity to take that experience back into meditation, back into your spiritual practice, to deepen your understanding and your awareness. So when I look at blending those two worlds of my life, that's how I see it. I see my spiritual practice allows me to show up from this channeled, heart-centered, open space, so that I lead from a place of abundance and availability and connectedness in my business. And also my human being experience can now inform what needs more work in my spiritual life. So that's how I see that integration, not as though they're separate, but they're in support of one another.
Yeah. No, it's actually a very skillful thing to do, because even a lot of advanced practitioners, they separate the two because they see that, spending time on mundane things in everyday life is a waste of time. But in fact, we all need to live and have a livelihood. And without the livelihood, we cannot help other people and build monasteries or churches, whatever, So
Yeah.
on the practical sense, if money is channeled in the right way, it can be very useful and very helpful to many people. But not many practitioners sees that. It takes a lot of vision. Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult, because that's what I kind of see it as, like spiritual bypassing. It's making the earthly experience wrong, but we are earthly beings as well. So it's essential and vital for us to see the abundance of our human being and our spiritual being, and that they are not separate. That's the problem. Drawing a separation between those two things is what causes the problem, in my opinion. And it's what also creates separation among humans at a larger level, right? That identity, that individualization. So I share all of this with you guys. You can tell I'm passionate about this because I see the greatness in all of you, and I see the abundance of opportunity available to all of you in your own unique ways and your own unique gifts. And as you step into this abundance work this week, I invite you to hold yourself to that higher standard, to be in the awareness of the ways in which you actively push abundance out of your life, and also to be in awareness of the ways in which you actively allow it in, because you are creative beings just in your essence. You are all divine creations and divine creators. So for the next step for this week, I have 2 additional assignments for you. The first assignment is to write a love letter to money. So people have done this before, and maybe you've thought about this in the context of money as a friend, but instead, I want you to think about money as a lover. And this exercise is also broken down in the sheet that's included in the coaching exercises module. So money is a lover. I want you to imagine money as your sexy, hot lover. Maybe you put your husband in that place if you're married, or some, I don't know, Justin Bieber, whatever it is, whoever your sexy, hot lover is. Nina's like, what, Justin Bieber? No, she's like, no, that's not my guy. I don't know, Antonio Banderas, like, who's your guy? Like, I don't know. No, nobody's liking my... Okay, fine. Brad Pitt, anyone? Brad Pitt? No, man, I'm just, Nina's like, Okay, so whoever your guy is then, I want you to... Keanu Reeves, okay. I'm a big fan of Keanu Reeves as well. He's super hot. So Keanu Reeves, and I want you to write that letter to money and just really come clean. You're coming clean about the shit that you did that maybe you feel embarrassed about. becoming clean about the way you really feel about money. You want to clean up the past, honor the present, and then really talk about the future you want to create with money in your life. And make it steamy, make it sexy, make it juicy. Because the more visual, the more detailed you can get in this love letter to money, the more powerful it is. And then what you can do, this is what one of the women in Natasha's group actually suggested doing, is that you fold it up and you place it under your pillow and you sleep with it under your pillow every night. So that love letter to money is really your expression of love, that like deep core love that you have for it, and cleaning up anything that needs to be cleaned up so that you can create that beautiful, harmonious, lusty, juicy relationship that you really want to have with money in the future, that honest and open relationship. So that's the first assignment. The second assignment, and now this is the one that's going to be a little bit more edgy. There is a piece in your exercise book that is essentially designed to, it's called like Your Money Needs. This is what's going to help you ensure that you build a reality business on a fantasy business. So most of you have heard me talk about pricing, and we're going to talk about pricing next week when you build your signature experience. Most of us place our price points at a position that's too low to actually sustain the lifestyle that we want, because we realize that the level of leads, the amount of time you have to spend servicing those leads and creating those leads is actually not sustainable in order to drive a long-term business. So what I want you to do, and I have this worksheet that breaks down in multiple parts all of the different financial requirements that you have for your minimum livable income. So it breaks down, what do you need every month for rent? What do you need every month for car? What do you need in transportation? What do you need every month for insurance? What do you need every month for enjoyment, for leisure? What do you need every month for family care? And it breaks these things down. And this is the reason why this is edgy, is that for most of you, you can include your husband's income if you want, Paula. This is less about what you're earning and more about what the expenses are in your life. So this is going to be going through, and you're going to be saying, like, how much and I want you to actually look. And that's what makes this an edgy exercise. Because a lot of us, who has trouble sometimes looking at money, opening up the account and just looking at your money, seeing where it's going, where it's not going. Yeah. So this exercise is edgy because it's going to make you look. You can't build a business if you're not willing to look at your money. So you've gotta look. So this is going to require you to step up and go, okay, here's what I'm spending. Here's where that money is going. Here's what I'm currently doing in my life. And this is the minimum that I would need to generate in order to support the lifestyle that I want. And if you're in a family, you can look at your family's expenses, or you can look at yours personally. I'll leave that up to you, depending on what you feel more called to. But that process is going to help you see, by the end, you're going to have a number that's going to come out. And it's going to be 5,000, 1,000, 20,000, whatever your number is. And then you're going to say, okay, that's what I need in order to sustain my family or myself. Whatever it is, whatever you choose to look at it by, that family or self parameter. And now, from that place, when you move next week into defining your signature experience and looking at your price point, you know, all right, this is what I need to make every single month in order to cover the expenses to have the quality of life that I am just barely wanting, just the minimum. Because otherwise, you're setting price points and you're coming up with goals that are kind of not based in any sort of reality, right? And that's a big mistake that a lot of new business owners make. They don't have prices and businesses that are built on reality, not in fantasy. So what I'm helping you do here, my desire for you, is to blend the vision that you hold for yourself and the possibility for the number that you wrote down today, the 88888, the 120, the 90,000, with what it is that you need as a minimum to survive, so that you know at the bare minimum what your business needs to be bringing in every month in order to be profitable. I promise to build my lifestyle based on what is coming in. So we always want to start with the basic, Waylon. You're always going to look at what you need just right now. right? It's important. You need to know what you need to survive, right? That is essential. But then beyond that, in the worksheet, the other section is for you to write your monthly amount needed each month and your needed each year if nothing changed in your life and you just wanted to sustain what you currently have. But then you also have this new number that you wrote down today, okay? So you can see where you're currently spending and what you currently have, and then where your opportunity for growth is. So for example, if you have a money survival mindset, then what you might be doing is actually capping your expenses that you spend on the things that are for yourself, your creative endeavors, if that makes sense. So you can start to see, oh, wow, I'm only spending $200 a month on me. That number needs to go way up, right? Or I see that I know I'm spending $1,000 a month in rent for this apartment or this house or whatever, or my mortgage, but I want this kind of home with this kind of mortgage. So you can create that aspirational goal. Does that make sense? So we need to know what the minimum is so that we make sure we build a business that can support that, so we don't create a business that isn't sustainable. Make sense? A bit scared that I won't be able to finish my signature experience by the end of next week. Well, we don't start the signature experience until next week. So don't worry about it, Nina. That's my pointer. Don't stress out. Okay? We'll get you there. Don't worry on that. Don't worry on the how yet. Just take it one step at a time. I want you to first work on this money stuff, this pricing stuff, and you're cleaning up your abundance blocks so that we can get you to the position where you can create a signature experience at a price point and really stand behind it. You're still catching up. That's fine, Waylon. This is a great week because you just have the recording and these two more simple assignments. They're less heavy. So next week you'll do your signature experience. So you're doing fine. I think you still have to do your perfect pitch, right? And you have to put your ideal client up.
I've just put that on Facebook today.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
Could you have a look at that, please?
Yes, I will take a look.
Yeah, later.
Yeah, absolutely. I will take a look at that. So yeah, this is a good week for you to get caught up. And these moves are bonus moves, so they are optional but strongly recommended. So enjoy working on those things. Do you have any questions about those additional assignments? And like I said, they're outlined for you in the workbook, in the worksheet in Thinkific under the coaching exercises module. Any questions? Okay, time for our one-word checkout. So let's go around, and why don't we start with Paula?
I'd say scared because of the asking someone in 48 hours. I really want to do it. So scared, but energized and buzzing. So
yeah,
keywords.
Awesome. Scared, energized, and what was the last? Buzzing. Yeah.
Buzzing, yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Paula. All right, Nina.
Yeah, it's so difficult for me to come up with something inspirational at this time of the day. I'm so tired. Yeah, but scared was actually also what came up for me first. But yeah, I don't know.
Scared. Can you tell me what you're scared of? Like Paula did. She shared what she was scared of. What are you scared of?
Yeah, just moving forward.
Mm-hmm. With?
Which is so silly, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not silly. Don't make it wrong. Don't make it wrong. It's okay to be a little scared. It's okay to be a little scared. I'm scared all the time. I'm scared all the time in my business. I'm doing a bunch of scary shit right now. When I hired Natasha, I was scared. When I brought in my salesperson, I was scared. First time I ever made a $30,000 offer, I was scared. So it's okay to be scared. It's what you do with that fear that matters. So thank you. And Waylon.
scared but excited, and also enthusiastic and
Enthusiastic.
adventurous.
Yeah, enthusiastic, scared, and excited, and adventurous. Was that the last one? Yes, love it. Natasha, what's yours?
On mute. I am feeling abundant and confident.
Abundant and confident. Yes. All right. Okay, ladies, thank you so much. It was a powerful session. I know, a good session. You guys showed up really powerfully. Let me know if you have any questions as you move through these exercises for the week. If you have any questions, comments, or come-ups, keep posting them up in the group. We're here for you, Natasha and I. Paula, do you have a question?
Yes, just you didn't answer Nina's question. Do we need to post
Oh,
our letter? So
oh yes, post your letters to money,
Yeah.
please. Please post your letters to money. Yeah, definitely. And I included an example from one of the women in our last group in the worksheet as well, so you can see an example of a love letter to money.
And you
It's
don't
like-
need to type it up. You can just take a photo of it.
Yeah, you can take a picture of it if you need to. Thank you for that. It's a great idea, Natasha. How many words? Like a couple paragraphs. Like if you were writing a real letter to your lover, would it be like 3 lines, or would it be maybe like a page? So, you know, a couple paragraphs, paragraph at least. That's what I would do for this one. And you'll see an example of a client who really went all in with it in your workbook or in the exercises worksheet. Sound good? All right. Okay, guys. I'll see you in the group. Reach out if you need anything. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.